nearly 2 weeks now, so they should be up and running, ready for these kind of games. Big arena, big support, you know, in a foreign country, the weather, the climate is perfect now for the players to play. So there really shouldn't be any excuse, but at the end of the day, it's all about performance, interacting with the players, getting to know players in a real match situation rather than just in training. So all those things the manager will be looking at, he'll be thinking, okay, you know, players going to be improving in the next coming weeks as well. So, yes, we want to win the game. Yes, we want to put on a good show.
Players,
yes,
but particularly for the likes of Luke Shaw, he has some game time here, 10 months out with a dreadful injury, playing in European football last September. He's in the back four with Eric Bailly, who has come in from Villarreal. At the moment, the biggest problem he's having is learning a bit of English to speak to his teammates. Not such problem for Mkhitaryan, who's fluent in half a dozen languages, the Armenian. Shinji Kagawa, we saw a few minutes ago, going to reacquaint himself with some of his Manchester United mates. He was a Manchester United player for a couple of years and then returned to Dortmund. They seem to like buying back players. They've done it with Goetze as well. Sven Bender, who'll be off to the Rio Olympics with Germany before he gets down to Bundesliga action. And of course, this is a very coveted Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Almost 40 goals last season, Andy.
Possibly a United target as well, so he'll have a point to prove.
It's a nice setting. It's a long way from home for the two countries, but with the wonders of jet travel, they both have a second game to play. Manchester City are the third team involved in this tournament. Have been rather adverse weather forecast for Beijing, where United are due to play Manchester City on Monday. There have been electric storms, and there is just a little bit doubt about that fixture, but hopefully the weather will be as kind in the capital as it is here in Shanghai. You have to be a real jet setter to be a top player these days.
I think talking about the travel, of course, it is maybe difficult at times, but as you say, the flights now are very comfortable. Players, they can sleep while they travel as well. That's vitally important. But the temperature, I think, in these pre-season games normally is very hot, and that can affect the tempo of the games. But it is a bit cooler in Shanghai. That will suit both teams here.
Well, just to give you the context, really, Manchester United finished last season as FA Cup winners. They failed to qualify for the Champions League, and it meant the end of the line for Louis van Gaal and the appointment of Jose Mourinho to a job he has been admitting that he's always coveted. And as for Dortmund, well, they had a bit of a stumble when Jurgen Klopp moved on, but Thomas Tuchel came in with a real run of success at the start, and he did well to get them back to second place in the Bundesliga and runners up in the cup as well. Jose Mourinho has been pointing out, Andy, that Manchester United are a bit behind, even though it's 2 weeks after the start of the Premier League, the Bundesliga start, that Dortmund have been at it for a bit longer, and they've played 4 or 5 pre-season games. Not any great stature, but they've got a bit more of their match legs than United, who had 1 game at Wigan last Saturday.
Yeah, I think any manager will want their players, of course, to train well and get themselves fitter and fitter, but you cannot replace playing matches. That's what's vitally important. Dortmund have played 4 already this pre-season, United just the 1 against Wigan, so it's bound to affect maybe the sharpness of those United players. A lot of them, of course, playing for possibly starting positions when the Premier League kicks off, so they need to be really hitting the ground running. So it might be a bit more difficult for those United players than it is for the Dortmund ones at the moment.
Playing for starting positions, and I guess for some of them playing for their Manchester United futures. Some interesting quotes from Jose Mourinho yesterday about Juan Mata. Of course, he sold from Chelsea, Mata to Manchester United. The implication of that was that Mata would be on his way, but he's actually come out and said Mata